Thank you guys for tuning in to About the Night. We got a good one for you guys here today. We got some special guests with us. I want to thank you for joining us today. We have Dan. How are you today? Go ahead and pronounce your last name.
I thought you was about to try to pronounce
I was. You see how I stopped? Dan.
This man, my whole life.
I wanted to see how Dan was how he's gonna pronounce this.
I was just going to say his Instagram.
This man hit it. This man hit it with the pause. He said, "Dan."
Go ahead and say that.
Dan, how did you say your last name?
Yeah, just spell it out.
It's pronounced Stornaiuolo.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you would have fumbled that one.
I was about to just Instagram name it. Damn Storm Cloud. Give it to you.
Storm Cloud.
There you go.
Big Dan Storm Cloud, a.k.a. Dan Stornaiuolo.
All right. So, Dan, let's talk about it. You're the owner of a security company, Capital Protection Group. How's things going?
Man, I'm surrounded by 4 gentlemen that have supported this entrepreneurship since the day I started. Warren, you kind of came in late in the game, but
Absolutely.
Tony, Rob, and Winton, we've been kind of rocking since like 2017, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a few.
I literally remembered when I interviewed Rob at Dive, but he came in. I said, "Who's this Drake-looking motherfucker coming into Dive Bar, bro?" I said, "Who's this?" I said, "Who is this?" The curls and there. I said, "Bro, who is this man?" And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Rob was like the only dude that I interviewed that was hella proper and well spoken, and like he came dressed and looked not like he just was. I was like, "Yo, I want this guy." And all of y'all, man, I know.
What you trying to say? I came looking like a bum? Come on,
no,
man.
You came over.
Where the kudos?
Hold on, no, you remember you came over from El Rey. Yeah. I didn't you just kind of like came on. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to like give like a yay or a nay, and then I forgot how Tony got involved. I don't remember.
I went to D30.
You went to D30? Yeah.
They put in the word for me.
Yeah.
I put in the word for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you, huh?
I got in and was like, "Hey, man, we making money. Let's go."
Yeah.
And I think you guys all put in a word for me.
Yeah. And then y'all all put in a word for Warren. And yeah, man, been doing this thing it'll be 2 years in January. CPG, it'll be 2 years in January, man.
That's what's up, man. Hey.
Yeah.
No doubt. Cheers. Cheers.
Man.
Cheers to that,
man.
Cheers to y'all, man.
Cheers to that.
Hey.
Cheers to all y'all, man. You guys have, I say this all the time, man. Like, it wouldn't be where it's at with y'all, man. For real.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
It's love.
I mean that, for real.
Hey, sticking to the grind is always hard, man. But speaking of that, man, it leads us into the first question. You've worn many hats, is what it sounds like already, with the previous history in those locations. Talk a little bit about, why you started and got into that industry and how it led you to today.
Man, I'm an OG, bro. I have been bouncing since 2014, about that time. And I got into it just like everybody else did, bro. I was trying to be around the women. I was trying to be around the money.
Facts.
I was trying, I was 21 years old, bro. I was playing football at Sac State, and Marcus, who y'all know, the Filipino Marcus, who he primarily does patrol. He was my security manager. Damn, I just said this shit. He was my security manager at Bar West back in 2013.
We're going to try to refrain from using names.
Okay, all right.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
You're good.
So, you talking about places or people? Okay. Okay, so, yeah, I got started over on J Street pretty much. And I kind of been around the block, man. I've been anywhere that you could imagine. I've worked. I've had the experience of working, so I just got into it, man. Just to, just like everybody else, the side cash, the women, being around it, being around the life, So, yeah.
So how'd you go from being around the life to now wanting to manage the people who are now the life? Right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It started I was tired of being misused and underappreciated and undervalued, and ultimately being around an atmosphere that I felt almost was like too dangerous. Like I just was like in this like, damn man, like you're better than this. And shit, man, what started as a drunk conversation at one of the places that I used to work at, my partner, who I've known for many years since I was like 21, 22 years old. Like I said, it kind of started as a drunk conversation, and then it kind of went from like talking about it to like taking initiative to like asking for financial support to coming up with business plans to coming up with, okay, oh shit, this is happening. You know what I mean? So it was a very long start. Like I actually started the process in 2019 and didn't get licensed until, I started the process in 2018, didn't get licensed until 2019, and then didn't start contracting until January 2020, which is when we first started working down on K Street. So.
Well, that's right. I do remember that. That was the first location.
Yeah, that was the first location.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that's huge. Being able to start a company, for one, a lot of people wish they could do that, but really don't have the ability to start it. They do have the ability, but no one puts that foot forward and continues to say, hey, I'm going to run with this regardless if it fails or not. So hats off to you.
Yeah.
That's really huge. Really huge. You kind of mentioned it earlier. You mentioned you went to Sac State. What'd you do there? What'd you do? You like bench like 200, 250?
Man, I was
310. You was benching.
I was balling, man.
Okay.
I got a Division I scholarship to Sac State, man. Sac State's D1 AA. I mean, for all y'all haters out there, that Sac State is Division I.
Oh, did you win a championship?
We just small school Division I. No, we didn't win no championship.
Oh, okay.
But shout out Sac State that recently just won the Big Sky Championship.
That's fast.
And last year won the Big Sky Championship. Shout out, man.
I've been hearing their names. I've been hearing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But playing football at Sac State, man. I'm originally born and raised in San Francisco, California, where nightlife is wild. Like,
absolutely.
When I say wild, like nightlife out in Frisco, bro, is. But the crazy part is, man, about Frisco is a bar city. Like, not until I came to Sacramento was I like really into clubs. Like, I don't know. There's something about like, yeah, the city is dope. Like, there's some spots out in the city that like club wise that are pretty dope. But like, I don't know, man. It's something about the bars in the city that always like intrigued me and people around me. And you know, but anyways, came up to Sacktown, man. I've been up in Sacktown since 2013. I've been up here since 2012. So
you being an offensive lineman at Sac State, is that part of the reason why you got into the nightclub?
Yeah,
or?
Man. Your boy, I was a big body, man. I'm 6'5", 3 bills. I was a big body, and I like to throw people around. You know what I'm saying?
That comes with it.
It comes with the territory.
Something you was used to.
Yeah, I was used to it. It was fun, man. I had a good it was fun. Like you got done with practice, you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, yeah, you could be going out and spending all this money. Cool, sure. You could be going out. You could be hollering at these girls, like, whatever. But why not make money while you're doing it? Mm-hmm. Like, you're still out, technically.
Right.
Girls are still walking up to y'all, regardless if you're working or not. Right. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of just stuck with me. I was like, damn, bro, like, this is fun, bro. Like it was fun. It's fun to me. You know what I mean? You have those points. We've all had the points where we're just like, bro, I can't do this. I'm not trying to do this. God knows we've had this conversation plenty of times with all y'all. But like, there's just something about it where it's just like, damn, like, I don't know. Like, I just couldn't see myself not doing it. You know what I mean?
It's a natural fit.
Yeah,
And I think you emphasized it earlier, about kind of where the motivation, where it started.
Yeah.
It was kind of trying to bring a spotlight and an emphasis on how essential security is and how underappreciated that element of nightlife is. Mm-hmm. Every aspect of anything going on in the nightlife industry, whether you're a bar, club, patrol, it requires that. And I think that's kind of where you and I had conversation. I remember when you was starting it, like as you said, you started as a conversation and then kind of went from there. And I think that's always been the foundation in which you wanted to build this up on is emphasizing security, because it's always overlooked. You know what I mean?
Underappreciated.
Yeah, and I think it's like, look, this is something that all these venues need. It's a thankless position, it's a thankless element, but it's all needed at the end of the day to make sure that people that's consuming these things, that's impairing them physically and mentally, that they get home safe. Yeah. Like at the end of the day. So.
I think I was thinking about this on the way here. There's something also about I think it's the camaraderie. Like obviously, I played football. I was around offensive linemen, which is a very cohesive unit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoy being a part of a unit of guys that get a job done or that protect. My job was to protect. As an offensive lineman,
protect the QB.
I'm protecting my quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense.
So I mean, I'm naturally just kind of like a protector at heart, and I feel like most of the people that do get into security are just instinctually protectors.
Yeah, natural protectors. Yeah,
and I think diving into that point of the fun aspect, everybody wants to know you. Everybody wants to know Rob. Everybody wants to know, Warren and Tony and Winton. They want to know you because it's a
connection.
It's a connection. It's a great feeling going out and being the guy that everyone knows that you take care of people and you got people's back. And, it's also you could boast about it a little bit. You got a girl you're trying to impress. You going out to the club that you really like. You know what I'm saying? You walk up and you're like, yo, there's a line. It's good. I got us. We're all right. How do you know how to do that? Oh, well, I work around these guys. Or we at least back in the day, and I know y'all do the same thing. Bouncers, we take care of other bouncers. So you got the in everywhere else.
Truly.
So if I'm going out on a Sunday and I work, I don't know, Tuesday through Saturday at another establishment, and I'm trying to get into the top nightclub in town, guess what? The homie that works at the top nightclub in town, he comes to where I'm working at all the time, and I take care of him, so he takes care of me.
Right.
So when I'm going with my chick, we straight to the front. We in there, VIP, free booth, what I want, when I want.
Yeah, it's love for everybody.
It's love,
with
bro.
the protection of everybody.
It's love.
That position that we have, everybody's showing love.
That's where the appreciation comes in. It's we feel underappreciated when we work, but the appreciation is kind of like that. We got something that no one else really can have.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's also too it's a lot of people don't even understand this. They look at us as what the position is. We like to get our beak wet too. Yeah. We like to go out there, have a good time, put our head down and stuff like that.
I know
So
Tony does.
So I think probably a little bit too much here lately.
Nah, man. I mean, it all comes with the territory, bro. I would say it's drastically decreased, but from the ages of 21 to 26, I was hype.
We all was.
I love, bro. When I was going out and I had the chick and it was I felt like I was
king.
You felt like, you know what I'm saying?
You're the man.
You guys know how it is.
Yeah.
You go out and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I can go where I want, when I want, what I want. It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But you kind of as you get older, it's a Like, I remember when we was out on my birthday, you know, like, I forgot. I think it was one of my friends that came up to me and was like, why aren't you smiling? I was like, I've literally seen a bottle come to a table like 50,000 times in my life.
Facts.
Right.
It's exciting, but it ain't that exciting.
Right.
This looks all too familiar.
Right. I've been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got for us, Wayne?
Well, you know, I got a lot. You know, that's the whole thing. Well, let's talk about it. A lot of stuff just happened this weekend, right? So, you know, a lot of stuff that just happened this weekend. And obviously, we're in December, close to the holidays, Christmas, people getting crazy, snatching babies' toys and all that stuff, right? Talk to me about the night.
You want to talk about this weekend, this past weekend?
I want you to talk to me about the night.
I feel like we should start with like the major news that happened at Mango's.
I mean, I can talk about previous experiences that, and also leading up to like I want to talk about that, but I also want to discuss like that's also the scary part. Like that's the good in what we do is what I discussed. But the bad is what happened. The scary part is that thought of, damn, man, like, you know, some shit can pop off at any time. But I've been doing this so long now to the point where like it could happen. Like with the way the world's going right now, it happens everywhere. It's not yes, the chances of something drastic happening at a nightclub or a bar where alcohol is infused and there might be girlfriends and boyfriends fighting that we don't know about, or gang affiliations that we don't know about, and stuff that's outside of our control and jurisdiction.
And our knowledge. Something that we don't even know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the part where you're just kind of like, you don't really think about sometimes, but when it happens, you're kind of like, whoa.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have had a lot of things happen to me personally, just kind of getting up to this point that we're going to discuss. Like, when I was working on K Street, I mean, I had a Glock 17 pulled in my face at a certain venue on K Street. You know, I had a dude try to stab me, literally came at me with his knife and tried to stab me.
I remember that.
On K Street.
Yeah. I remember.
I was recently on patrol in August with one of our fellow coworkers at an establishment in Old Sac, and I was caught in the background of a double homicide, and I had like 12 bullets fly literally by my face.
That was a double homicide.
Double homicide, bro.
I remember you telling.
That was Old Sac, right?
Old Sac.
Double homicide. Yeah. I also dealt with 2 gunshot victims, literally that were 15 years old, 3 feet from me.
Man, that's crazy.
It was, bro, like when I tell you this is like some movie shit, this was like some straight, I'm in a fucking movie right now. I'm not trying to get too deep on that shit, but it's the sad part of it is this stuff that happened this weekend, like I'm like numb to now. Like it's like, oh, like when you've kind of been around it, you become like numb to the fact of like, you know, it's gonna happen somewhere.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And that's fucked up. It's fucked up to think about because it's like I've been around it. Like how many times, again, I'm not gonna say where, but just like how many times if shit has almost happened around us.
Yeah, multiple times.
A
multiple
lot.
weeks. Absolutely.
A lot. And y'all, all of y'all.
Yeah.
All of y'all, man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, you think you're just like, damn. You know, but you know, we keep coming back. I mean, that's where it's just kind of like it's like a seesaw. You know what I'm saying? Like some shit goes off, but you know, to kind of get on to what your question was, Winton, is yeah, man, shit went down, man. Someone was murdered literally on K Street this past weekend. Altercation started on K Street, around Lavender Heights area. And I wasn't there personally, but we had 2 of our coworkers, 2 of our workers there.
Across the street, right?
Yeah, across the street. And Yeah, man.
They're outside. So.
They were outside, man. They were within probably 50 yards of where it happened. And that's the part of it, man. That's like, it's fucking scary. But then again, it's like we all have worked in places where, like, our jobs now, where I've used to work, like, someone can walk into a retail store at any point.
Absolutely.
And, bro, I've dealt with customers in the past, man, where I'm like, I'm gonna die.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
I mean, because you never know, is someone's, especially, and I think we was talking about it a little bit last week, just how there's people who are initiated.
Yeah.
There are people that do this for real. And then there's people out there that want to have the illusion that they do this. Yeah. And they're just as dangerous, because the fact is they got something to prove. And a lot of time when the pressure's put on, they want to get that notoriety or that claim, that clout, whatever they've manifested into their brain that they think they're going to obtain by doing this act of violence or whatever it may be to prove themselves. That's a danger. Like, that's the worst thing in the world, is to have any type of weapon that can have that type of damage in a fool's hands.
Yeah.
And that's something that, so a lot of people, we always worry about, or we always say, oh, this dude's with the shit, this gang's with the shit. Yeah, you got to worry about them, but to be honest with you, they're more calculated.
Yeah.
They're more calm. If they put it there, it's not a situation where, in most cases, where it's sporadic. It's the ones that have something, that want to have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones where I'm like, that's where the shit can go left at any moment, and you can't see it.
Right.
Other situations, it's kind of, you can see it a little bit. If you've been doing this for a while, you pick up on things that's going on.
Yeah.
So you can be like, okay, I know this group don't like this group. I know they got an issue going on. I can keep my eye on it. Just so as far as like, okay, make sure everybody's out the way or whatever. But when it's somebody that's unpredictable, or you don't even know the backstory, you don't know the history, you don't know any of the beef that's behind that, it becomes a situation where now you're just reacting.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you're reacting, something happened.
Right.
And in this case, this
Somebody
past
lost their
weekend,
life.
somebody, they're no longer with us now.
She was 18 years old, man. 18 years old.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Barely living.
Yeah.
And then we
Still
can get
wet
in, and I
behind the
mean,
ears.
we don't want to dive too much into it as far
Yeah.
as the politics of it, why and when, that type of thing. It's kind of, in my opinion, is, a little bit irrelevant. The fact is they're not here. Whether people, there's going to be a group that says that they're deserving, and there's going to be a group that says that this was, an atrocity. This was a tragedy.
I mean, what fascinates me is like how, like Dan was saying, is like how he becomes numb to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
It's fucked up.
I feel like we're like conditioned to now where we see things on TV. You hear people dying all the time. You know what I mean? And it's just, something happens that tragic, right, that close to you, you would think that would change your life forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy to hear that, like, man, like if I was there at that venue and I would have seen that happen, I don't know how I'd be today, to be honest, man. Like,
You know what's crazy to jump on that point is when that thing happened to me in Old Sac, I went back so like I'm kind of like that person that's like, if something happens to you, I want to conquer that fear immediately. Like that happened and I was scared that night. I was tripping. I was fucking there till 5 a.m. I was with fucking homicide detectives. It was a scene, bro. Like it was insane.
Did a little pee-pee come out?
A little bit.
A little pee-pee?
I'm not gonna lie. Joe was telling me he said he'd never seen me move that fast in his life. I fucking hurdled a chain that was like 3 feet tall. I was 21 again all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
that adrenaline.
Yeah. But I went back the next day, and right where it happened, and I stood there and was just soaked that shit in. It was just like, like.
Damn, that's real.
I went back.
That's real. That's
I literally
real.
went back the next day
That's
with
real.
my vest on, stood there, and I'm not playing, bro. I literally felt the wind go by my fucking ears.
You hear it.
Like,
It's like a fucking bee buzzing in your ear, just like, like.
I was easily within 4 to 6 feet
of losing your life.
Of losing my life, easily. Yeah.
And that's the part you talked about with the numbness, because when you experience this in this position, it has that threat of violence. And Warren, you said it, piggybacking off what Dan said in regards to the numbness. To be honest with you, today that's the long-term effect of too much information now.
Facts.
You know, so we're exposed to too much information. There's so much going out there; it's easily acceptable, accessible. So we get fed all the info. Now everybody knows about it, and now you kind of just numb to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, somebody got shot here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one like, damn, like you in that minute or two that you're talking about it, it's like, oh, dang, that's messed up. It's like, but then you move on because there's going to be another incident,
right?
Literally the next day or a week later,
right?
So it's hard for us to and I think that's a big issue that we have today is it's hard for us to care. Yeah. Sometimes it can get to that point. Yeah.
Which is why I got respect for you, Dan, because I mean, to stare down a barrel, you know what I mean, and bullets flying at you, and then to come back to work, I mean, that takes guts. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of people just threw their hands up like, man, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I literally went to work the next day. Me and Joey went down there and worked the next day.
Man.
Warren over here like, if bullets flying at me, I quit.
Right?
No, really.
You got to reevaluate.
Done.
You do,
Yeah.
and
reevaluate.
I think anybody that's done anything with security that's either experienced any type of threat of violence or any type of situation like that, I think they all reconsider, like, man, is this worth it?
Yeah.
I think we've all asked that question.
Yeah.
And is it?
I have.
So I've been a part of my fair share of gun activity right next to us, and I looked at it this way: it wasn't directed towards me. If I'm doing my job right, doing the things that I need to do to make sure the people inside are safe, I shouldn't have to worry about gunfire coming to me. I know I've kicked out my fair share of people, threw them out on the ground, and falling on the ground looking embarrassed. But it was never too much to where I think he want to come back with a gun and try to shoot the place up. So my fair share of incidents of, there was gunfire 10 feet away from me in front of the club, and it wasn't directed at me. Yeah. But the numbness to it behind it is just like, I'm here like turning around and I'm telling people to get down on the ground. And my big ass is a target. I should be getting down too. But I was more so concerned about the safety of others, people wanting to run out.
You're a protector. We're like I said, like to sorry to interrupt, but like we are naturally to do this. You're kind of like instinctually is you want everyone to feel protected. And it's not that you feed off of like, other people feeling guarded by you, but it's just you're like, I see myself as like a nurturer of protecting people. And like, I take pride in the fact that like, man, like we have gotten through all of us have gotten through a lot of stuff and have been around a lot of stuff, whether it might be personally or with my company or bouncing, outside of this, whatever it might be. All of us have seen some shit, man. And I think it's that's what kind of like makes us all so skilled, I think, at doing our jobs is like there's people that have never been, like some establishments that we work at or around, there's people that have never been around anything.
In the line of fire.
It's not necessarily line of fire, but just how they grew up. Like your background takes so much into account of how successful you are.
Absolutely.
Like all of us.
Experience.
Like experience. Street experience. I grew up in the city, man. The reason why I feel like I was so seasoned at doing my job is because at 13 years old, I started taking Muni everywhere. Every hood, literally I would take, because my mom and dad.
What'd you say? You called it what?
Muni, the bus.
Muni?
That's the train.
That's what it's called, Muni.
Muni.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
You never heard of Muni?
No.
SF Muni.
I never heard of that.
I'm from the Bay.
We from the Bay.
I'm from Richmond. So.
The bus.
No,
you heard of the bus.
Muni is their y'all regional transit. Y'all motherfucking Sacramento.
Light
Y'all got
rail.
it.
We from the Bay out
Y'all
here.
got
right?
it. It's like Muni's is San Francisco's version of that, and then you got BART, which is the whole Bay Area.
Yeah, I've heard of BART. I never heard of Muni.
Yeah, okay, Muni is their
I'll
train.
say from taking the bus.
I thought you was. Hey, I didn't know. I thought you were nicknaming your Glock or something. Like I gotta walk around. You know, I had my noonie on me everywhere I go.
I thought he was talking about his piece.
Hey, my noonie on me. Better watch out. Get hit with this noonie.
The Muni's loaded.
The Muni's loaded.
I really thought he was talking about his gun.
Win.
You stupid, bro.
Win with the shades on.
3:30 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He was in waste management in the city. And my mom worked, literally 8 to 5, 8 to 6 every single day. So getting anywhere, I had to take the bus. And that was when you was 13 and you needed a cell phone. Boy, I remember my first flip, Sprint, fucking, I had the Samsung flip. I said, bring. Hi, Mom, I'm on my way to the boys and girls club.
So you said it like that, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, my balls hadn't dropped yet, so I mean, I had a little high voice. But that's what I say though, is like your background heavily dictates how successful you are in this industry to an extent.
Got it. Well,
it just stopped.
That is all that we have left here for today.
Like the recording stopped?
It froze. It says everything's frozen. The fuck?
Is it still recording?
No. Why did it just do that?
Dan over here walking around with his noonie. Now, hey, bro, back up before I pull a noonie, bro.
Fucking shades off.
Playing.
My face is.
Bro, I was looking at you. I let you continue, hoping that I was gonna get an explanation of what the hell the noonie was.
I was thinking the same thing, man.
It just kept coming.
How have y'all not? Have y'all ever been to a Giants game?
Yeah, y'all have never what?
I've never heard of it. Game. Yeah,
I've never
Bro,
been to
the Muni is right. Bro. It's Muni, not Noonie.
It's M-U-N-I.
Yeah,
Muni.
It's the light. It's their light rail.
Oh, right. That dropped you off right in front.
Right.
Yeah.
It's their version. Like they have a light rail goes on the ground. They got the whole.
Y'all
thing.
never see, bro. The buses that have the little it says Muni on them.
Never seen it.
What the fuck?
It's San Francisco. Is we up?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I was saying, like your background really dictates how successful you are dealing with everything. I think it dictates everything. You know what I'm saying? So.
What you got? There's still one more. Let's switch it up. Because obviously we was getting a little too thuggish over here, riding around with munis and shit. And
that thing.
People shooting at us and everything each and every weekend. Let's go on ahead and lighten the mood. So with the tenure, obviously, we have the best seat in the house. You get to see all the random stuff from outside coming in. You get to see all the dirt from the inside. You get to see everything being in a security role. So you've been with this company for 10 plus years. Like on the visual aspect, what's the fun part? We want to know about, the fun that you've had or embarrassing stories that you have. Give me some good stuff. Give me some good stuff. Like, a bitch slipped over off of a drink and a titty popped out. Some dude dove into it.
Give us a PG, the PG version.
Give me something. Spill just a couple drops of the tea.
Right.
Bro, you know what's funny is people ask me that question. Y'all probably get asked that question
all the time.
What's the craziest shit you've ever seen?
Yeah, all the time.
Bro, every night is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Facts.
People are out of their fucking minds.
Facts.
Literally, like I think one of the craziest shit I've ever seen, bro. Speaking of shit, I walked into it again. I'm not gonna name the establishment, but I walked. Bro, it's like the end of the night, right? We kicking everybody out. This is before CPG. We're kicking everybody out of this establishment, and like someone came up to me and was like, "Dan, the toilet's busted in the bathroom."
What the fuck that got to do with me?
And yeah. I mean, exactly. That's my mentality. I said, What the fuck?
That would have been my mind.
What does that have to do with me? I work security. I'm not the
plumber.
The plumber.
Shit.
So I think, bro, like to this day. Okay, I have two stories for you. To this day, I walked in there, bro, and this guy walks out, right, and he says, "Hey, man, have you I lost my cell phone." And I go, I don't know, man. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I was taking a shit earlier, and I think, I don't know, I might have flushed it in the toilet. I don't know, but my phone, I don't know, but I think it was left there, and I looked for it, and yeah, man, it's not in there. And I didn't really think anything of it. This was outside the bathroom, and I go, oh, right on. Like, I was like, I don't know, man. If it turns up at the bar or some shit, like, come back the next day or something, I don't know. He was for sure twacked out. Bro, when I tell you what I see next, I walk into the bathroom, okay? Now, there's like the bathroom, and then there's obviously the stall with the door, okay? I walk into the fucking bathroom where the toilet was, and literally my fucking jaw dropped to the floor. The toilet was off of its complete access and split into a million pieces. I literally saw the toilet, like this man had, I think he was on like the most insane drugs I've ever seen in my life. Because this man lifted the motherfucking toilet up, smashed it on the floor, it shattered into a million pieces, and I'm literally like, have you ever seen that in your entire life?
Fuck no.
This man literally, to get his phone from the toilet, the toilet was in a million pieces on the floor.
What the fuck?
I've never, it was like, bro, this guy had to have been on some meth or something. 1,000% on meth or something.
Trying to get high off the fucking sewer
Bro,
gas.
it was insane. It was insane. I've never seen that shit before in my life. Bro. Okay, story number 2. That was a little bit whatever.
So he just destroyed the toilet.
Destroyed the toilet.
Like he literally hulked the toilet off the floor.
Shitty story.
Was there like water rushing out, or
there was water rushing out? I mean, there was water everywhere. There was fucking just, it was all over the place, bro. It was wild. Damn. Yeah, it was wild. Damn. The second story I got, this is low key. Like to this day, I wonder what had happened to this dude. Okay, so again, I'm working the door at this establishment, and a female walks up, hands me ID. It's a male on the ID.
Oh, I love those.
And
her body, her choice.
Her body, her choice, exactly. And nothing wrong with it. It's whatever. But there was a man on the ID, and it was a female. And I said, it didn't look anything like her. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I said, do you have something else with your name on it that I could just see, just to make sure it's you? Just usual, like. Mm-hmm. And yeah. She said this was pre-op, and again, nothing. Okay, cool, pre-op, that's whatever. Hands me ID, and I'm like, okay, have a good night. Okay, so this guy I seen start spitting game at she. Okay.
What'd you say? At she?
At her. She, her, him, I don't know. So
this is a he that's transitioned to a she.
A he that transitioned into a she.
What's the correct terminology so we don't get fucked up?
Transgender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking he, she.
And this dude starts spitting game, right? I could see they starting to. The juices are flowing. They're drinking. They're hollering at each other, whatever, and. They're drinking a pretty hefty drink. All of us kind of know what we're referring to here. And, again, juice is flowing. Okay, there goes one round of drinks. In comes another big-ass drink that they start going down in, okay? So, again, they're talking shop, whatever. I say dude starts kissing on her.
Oh.
The dude starts kissing on her, okay? And The night I kind of started to see some more stuff start to happen here and there, right? And dude is, again, I'm trying to stay PG here. I'm not trying to get too rated R, but
We passed rated R.
dude.
So let's be clear. Dude didn't know that it was a.
Dude did not know that it was a trans.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So dude did not know that it was a trans. At least I think, because they looked like they had just met each other.
Okay.
Got it.
And on some real shit, bro, this was like the most female-looking trans I've ever seen. Ever.
You saying she looked bad?
No, I mean,
Oh, he stuttered. He was like, hey, I might have, if I wouldn't have checked
She had a good surgeon.
yeah.
She had a good surgeon.
The doc was solid.
The doc
Doc was solid. He
Dr.
was
Ryan.
A1.
The doc was solid.
The doctor was smooth.
Man.
Had no,
Well,
had everything.
How was he winning?
Smooth. That motherfucker was a smooth operator, I swear.
So, she had the full nine. She had the fake yitties, she had the fake lips, fake butt, everything. Everything. So dude was in there like swimwear, bro. Like my guy wasn't trying to get after it. He was trying to take her home 1,000%. They start making out in the bar. And to this day, I've always literally wondered. They got into it. They got into an Uber together. And to this day, I've always been like, do we think homie went through with that? Do we think it happened? Do we think it not happened? Like, we see some stuff, I feel like, that I don't, bro. I've always wondered, like, damn, did he find out or did he go through with it? I mean, what?
That's a hard, man, to be honest with you, I'm going to say this. There's dudes out there that
look for
that they comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And then that's something that they into. And,
I mean,
to each his own.
Yeah.
So to answer your question,
Tony just hit it with the.
I mean, we've been in Mexico where,
Titties look good, bro. I'm sorry.
like,
The real.
I know you. I know you seen that in Cancun, right? When you went.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they, I mean, they busting them in and out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I think there is dudes that know it and they seek that out.
You think so?
Yeah.
there are some, but they're at the end of the day, when once you start, it depends on how far along the transition is. Also,
Yeah.
I think that depends. I think that plays a factor, especially with people making that decision.
Yeah. And again, there's nothing wrong with I mean, again, but to each his own. Exactly.
Yeah. Do you think, since we just on that, and I know this is a little bit off a topic, but do you think there should be disclosure there? Do you think there should be a conversation prior?
I think that causes conflict.
Wait, disclosure by who?
Shoot. I mean, either way.
By her.
You think that she should disclose that prior? To
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Because listen, bro, I come from San Francisco, the
capital.
capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all over. I mean, it's all around you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. But I don't know if that's something that should be disclosed. I don't know.
You can't really disclose it because that'll be like me being like, "Hey, what's up? I'm black. I got a big dick. We trying to fuck? Like, I'm gonna disclose this before."
You gotta speak facts though.
That's different when.
But no, it's in the aspect of.
Hey,
this,
sometimes that works.
I mean, it do. It do.
So sometimes you just got to be upfront about it.
I get that, but it also is shooting that person down. You have to stop and say, "Hey, I'm this." It's like you no longer are interested in me because obviously they spent all the money for a reason, right? And it's almost like they're going to be discerning themselves, like shooting themselves down in the foot, not having that opportunity of seeking some type of fun because they have to disclose that there's some type of way. Now, if you go all the way and then you realize that there's something there that you don't want, then that's a whole different conversation. Probably police will be reporting this podcast opposed to security. But in general, my aspect is disclosing that information before going all the way. Yes. I don't think anybody would. I
You don't think it would, or think they should?
I don't think.
My question was should.
Should
they?
I mean, of course, because we as
this man hit it with the
that sigh when.
You don't think so?
I don't think like you should.
No, speak on that. No, Tony.
Tony, speak on that.
You don't have a mic to speak on that.
What do you mean you don't feel like you should have to disclose it?
So you don't think, Tony, if you run into someone who you found was good looking and was previously in a situation and made that transition, you don't think that should be disclosed to you?
People don't even do that with STDs. Shit.
It is very true.
It's just like,
but that's a problem with the world, though.
I mean, if you're going to build a relationship, of course. But we're talking about one night stands.
Okay, but
you think that's something that you just need to figure out on your own? Like, oh shit, there's a pair of balls.
Well, if they did the work, it's a vagina, isn't it? That's what I've been.
I don't know how that. I think sometimes.
Well, I did say that. I said it depends on how far along the transition is.
Exactly.
But as far as disclosing, and I say this too, this and like we really going, on this side of the conversation. It's kind of it's becoming more real, but it's a real conversation. It also is a safety net for that person. Because there's a lot of there's violence towards transgenders. There's a safety concern from their perspective. So for an example, if you disclose that you're transgender and that maybe ruins your night of you being with somebody that night, okay. But that might have maybe saved your life. Because there's some people that ain't ready for that. But there's some people that's not prepared to actually deal with that situation if they ended up finding out.
They weren't prepared for it?
They weren't prepared for it.
But let me ask you this, Tony.
And so if they wasn't prepared for it, you don't know what someone is willing to do in that situation from being angry, from that perspective. Now their life can be threatened because of that.
Right. So let me ask you this, Tony.
So I think this is how I say it. I'm not saying this needs to be some type of mandatory disclosure, but I think, in my opinion, communication should be there.
So let's say you hook up with this individual, that's, born a man but now transitioned to a female. You hook up with this person and they don't disclose it till after. How do you feel about it?
I'm okay. So I feel two ways about it. I would go crazy.
Tony's
right?
like, it's happened to me.
So my biggest thing about that, of course I go crazy, but it's at the same time though, I kind of feel like I would know. I'd be like, oh no.
I don't know, man.
You know
some people,
and there's some good ones.
I've heard mistakes. I've heard people have been like, I didn't know.
How do you not know though?
But you don't never. But you don't, and that's the point. And I'll say this
because let's say you don't go all the way.
Warren presented the scenario. He says you go through with it. You guys, y'all have intercourse, whatever it may be, and then she tells you later what's going on, how you feeling about it. So basically, that's in that aspect, because you don't know if that person was, I guess you would say, interested in being with a transgender person. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but you didn't know if that person was. You took that choice away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like there needs to be a lifetime special to educate people, where it's that happened and they got feelings, and then they fucking okay. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about feelings then. So I got a question. Dan, I'm gonna start with you. Well, actually, you guys can all imagine the same thing I'm about to ask Dan. Right now,
imagine
who is the baddest bitch on the planet?
Baddest woman?
That's very...
Bitch.
There you go.
Not just get a woman. Okay, whatever you want to say.
The baddest woman... that's a tough... I got a lot of categories. I got a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, that's so subjective.
It's very broad. I just don't have a single... I got 20 I could...
Who is the finest chick that you would... If she right now walked up to you and said, Dan, I want you. God, I've been wanting to fuck someone from CPG, and if anybody, I would love to fuck you. That's the one. Who is it?
I still got that Megan Fox attraction.
Okay, so let's say Megan Fox walked up,
or Eva Longoria or Eva Mendes or
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just got a lot. It's a lot.
Who would you fuck more out of all of them?
Probably Megan Fox.
Fuck it. Let's do Megan Fox, Eva Longoria, and who else?
Eva Mendes, as he said.
Oh, okay. So let's imagine all of them. They want to have a foursome with you, right? They're like, we want to have a foursome with Dan and CPG. Would you do it?
I mean, yeah.
Of course. Okay. Hold on. Now let's just say, right? For argument's sake, real quick, out of nowhere, we was like, look, how about this? God comes down and says, all right, you fuck him, right, Dan? Cool, you're gonna fuck them. But before you fuck them, I'm taking their souls out and I'm sticking Rob and Eva Mendes. I'm sticking Tony inside of Megan Good. I'm sticking, Warren inside of whoever else the other girl was. And now our souls are inside those bodies. And we're like, hey, Dan, do we work? Oh, shit, we got titties. Oh, fuck. Oh, we got to fuck right now? Would you fuck?
Do I know that it's your souls inside of them?
We telling you shit that only we would know, yeah.
No.
No?
If
but
you're
you said
like,
you fuck them,
if
though.
you're like, yo, what's up? Dan? You're like, yo, Dan, like.
No, we say in a girl's voice, though. It's a girl, everything.
I don't know, man.
No,
that's so left field.
I don't think that
fits
that
in.
translates
Like if
well.
Eva Longoria came up to me and was, I don't think that translates well either, because that's just, I don't know.
But you said you would have fucked him before, just because the souls. I'm just trying to talk about the connection.
Yeah, but we're talking
people.
physically.
We're talking about what you was born.
No, but still though. Well, I was talking about more of the emotional side because we're talking about like later on type shit. I thought we were talking about one night stand type shit.
So could you see yourself in a relationship?
Absolutely not. What? Jesus. But I mean, like, I'm just saying for people that we're trying to separate the emotional from the physical. You know what I mean? If you're getting into it with like we're trying to find out if this person went through transition or not, and if they have to disclose that, that's what we're talking about, them having to disclose it, why they have to disclose it, because they want to have a further relationship, versus them just having a one-night stand. It was whatever it was. He just needed to stick his dick in something. That's how we are. Anyways, we dogs, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to say from that standpoint.
But I feel like we could all agree.
We still want to know where it's going.
Yeah, we don't want to stick our dick in a man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line truth. Like, regardless if you look like a female or not,
I related to this. I think everybody has I think this, to me, this conversation, this speaks to choice, and we should be given our own choice.
Not if it hurts other people.
No, transgender, bisexual, homosexual, heterosexual, we all got our own choice to make, right? That's what they're fighting. That's what everybody's fighting for. It's the equality, right?
What is it, LBGQ?
We should all be fighting to have the choice, right? I go to, to me, because I don't want to engage in any type of sexual act with a transgender, does not mean that I don't like transgender or I'm against their cause.
No, 100%.
And the problem is, if there's a lot of motivation that is saying that. There's a lot of pressure to say that.
Yeah.
Point an example. Like did you guys see the interview with Genuine?
No.
When he was sitting there, and it was a transgender. It was a man transitioned into a woman, and she was trying to give him a kiss. Like they were joking. They were all talking and I think they was on some type of reality show.
I think I saw
and then he got super uncomfortable. Like he just didn't want to engage in that, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know he got killed for that? He got killed in the media because of that. They tried to say that he was transphobic.
Yeah.
And see, this is my point. If you were to flip that, and that was Genuine trying to kiss on that woman, he'd be getting charged with sexual assault. True. That's the difference. We all have a choice. And I think at the end of the day, everybody has their own choice to engage in who they want, engage in sexual activity with whoever they want, but they should be given that choice. In my opinion, if you do not disclose that, you're robbing them of that choice.
100%.
And to me, it's 100%. No slight on the person that's transgender. And like I said, I'm looking at it from a safety perspective. There's a lot of people out there that would not be able to deal with the fact that they engaged in that type of sexual activity
That is also
that they did
correct,
not
yeah.
want and that they didn't even know.
Consent to.
And now that person could be in danger. And this is speaking for the transgender community. There is transgenders that have been killed
Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories
over this.
Yeah,
That's
Like there's a safety thing with that. And I would think as a transgender person, you'd want to make sure and maintain your safety over you having the potential of a good time or relationship
I agree.
with somebody.
and it's
That's my opinion. That's actually me actually supporting and wanting them not to be hurt.
Yeah.
Because there's not saying that that's something that I would do, but I'm saying there's a lot of people that can't deal with that.
and see that's a double.
And that would be their reaction.
That's a double-edged sword because it's like you said, there's a lot of like crime that's happened around that.
A lot.
And
There's
it's,
been a lot.
and it's like, man, if I was in that situation, I kind of don't blame the dude that did what he did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what he did was horrific, but it's like, damn, like you got to be transparent about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's people walking around that's not cool. You know, sleeping with, you know, like somebody that's the same sex as them. You know
and
what
again,
I mean?
I think to piggyback one on Rob said is like there's nothing. Your choice doesn't necessarily make you anti what.
No.
Right,
exactly.
right.
That doesn't necessarily make you anti.
That's a misconception.
It's just your preferred.
But that's the box that I think that social
Social
media
media gets-
and
yeah,
that people
yeah.
and in my opinion, the entire movement has pushed toward. So we're now infringing on. It's no longer a choice situation. You're making me say that I have to not only accept.
But have an attraction.
It's not even that. It's not even accept your lifestyle, which I could do.
Yeah.
I now have to. I basically it's almost turning into the fact of that I'm now discriminatory towards you if I do not participate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That to me, that's where the line is. Where it's completely.
I agree.
It's completely gone to the wrong side.
I agree.
You are now taking away that choice.
Yeah.
Everybody has that choice, and you know the world don't owe you understanding. Period.
Yeah.
I agree.
And everybody has to learn has to learn from that, and everybody has to go from that point of view.
Yeah, it's fucked up because there has been a lot of violence surrounding that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like you've seen, like, you know, there's been, you know, transgenders that have been killed. There's been straight people that have been killed because of not disclosed. Like, yeah, I mean, you're right. That's what LGBT. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. LGBTQ.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fighting for those, you know, the rights that they should be given. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, I think that everyone has a choice, and there's nothing against your choice, and there's nothing against what your preference is. But again, I do believe that you are correct in the aspect of it's a safety matter. Like, you know, there's
Absolutely.
it very much is for sure. Yeah.
I see we got a little bit
Off.
It's got a little bit real there, man.
That's our, you
got a
know,
little bit real there.
Topics be, you know.
Let me go ahead and talk about a few things. Let's lighten up the mood as we're getting ready to come to a close. Probably two more topics here. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to About the Night. We here with the special guest tonight, Dan. You can find Dan online at his IG, Damn Stormcloud, or AKA Capital Protection Group. You got some of the best out here in the Sacramento industry right now. Real quick, we have Rob, Mr. You can find him on IG, Coats Not Jackets. We have another legend in the building, Mr. Warren. You can find him on IG at War Ready. And then, of course, we have our major videographer, producer, who's putting everything together, Mr. Tony. And you can find him at, I do not know his new handle.
Maybe changing it every other week. Official WSR Junior.
Tony WS. JR_official.
Winton got like 6 handles now too. I don't even know.
I do.
Dub
you know.
G.
So the Dub G,
King
you
of
know,
Sacramento.
You know,
S.
that's me.
Blackie.
The King
Yeah.
of Sacramento. You know, I put that one out there really because I had a job that I really needed to advertise myself, and after I no longer needed to advertise myself in that industry, you know, it's time to change it up, flip it to the
Is
news.
that self-proclaimed or is
You
that,
know, hey, self-millionaire. You got to make your own wealth. You feel
When
me?
them shades come on, he's the king.
Hey,
The king of sass.
The king.
king is sack. All right, simple. But Dad, I'm gonna ask you a real quick subject topic, which is real important to the security world in general. What is more important to you? I want you to label it as best you can. 1 through 4 or 1 through 5. Like, what is your biggest interest when it comes, or temptations, I guess you could say, when it comes to the security nightlife? You have women, money, alcohol, drugs, and attention. Like, what are your biggest, like?
So one, are you saying one being the biggest?
Yeah, one being the biggest. What's your biggest?
Well, they've changed over the years.
Right.
Okay.
They've changed over the years.
Let us know.
When I was 21, girls was the top priority. You know what I mean? Like, when I was 21 years old and I was Dan just bouncing, I wanted to get females. You know what I mean?
I think the key here is temptation, though.
Temptation. Yeah. What was the most tempting?
Yeah. What's the biggest?
I would say females, because at that age, you start getting into relationships. It can affect your job, and then there's the drama, and you're talking to this girl and that girl, and then they come up to you and say hi to you, and they think it's a lot of drama in that field. And we've all, I'm sure, have experienced this at some point or another.
Absolutely.
I think temptation-wise, in the beginning was females. And then obviously as you get older, money becomes a big priority. You know what I'm saying? Money is I think, in my opinion, alcohol and drugs have never been a temptation for me, ever.
Okay.
It just hasn't.
Okay, I feel you.
I maybe when I was 21, you know what I'm saying? Like, people coming up to you, oh, come take a drink, this, that, whoop-de-whoop. I was so about, like, being on my shit, because I knew, like, yo, some shit can pop off at any time. They're like, I did not want to be incoherent when something happened. Ever. That's been me since day one. And I know people, we've all worked with people that have been
sneak drinks on the job.
Bro, yeah. We've all seen people, we've all been around people that's their priority. And hey, some people, good for them, but that jeopardizes y'all, that jeopardizes us. But yeah, man, it's changed over the years, bro.
Right.
What about, I'm gonna ask y'all, man, what as obviously right now y'all work with me, for me, we've worked together for so long. How has it progressed as you? I'll ask that question to y'all.
I think it's the same for me.
I'll be honest with you, man. It's the drugs. I love getting fucked up on the clock, man, while you playing. I'll be smooth with that motherfucker. I swear to God. Hey, put that drink right over here. I'm coming right now. I swear to God. Anyways.
So that's number one.
Nah, it ain't number one. That's the least amount of my worries. I officially wait to the end of the night to really start drinking, because it's cool to, like, cool to growl. Everyone's out of the club. We're already done doing everything. It's cool to sit down and chit chat about the night and have a drink. So that's my least worries and least temptation. But, the female temptation thing is also another least one of mine, because every time a bitch gets involved, all right. Every time a woman gets involved, all right, every time, I kid you not.
About to get canceled tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all good. Every time something happens, like, a female wants to dance, whatever, I love the dance. I'll be honest with you. Music is good.
I see it
love
on your
music.
story every shift. I know.
Hey, we ain't talking about work right now. Right? Work is not right now. Okay. All right. It's only certain occasions. In general, every time a female starts to dance, it's always an issue, always a problem. Something pops off. I'm over here having a good time, getting my freak Nick. I'm over here breaking one off. You know what I mean? Doing what I got to do. And then, boom, a fight happens right when I'm doing this shit. And I guarantee you, it's happened at least 10 to 15 times. I shouldn't be saying that many times. But, it happens every time in the aspect of, like, here we are. I'm having a good time. I'm dancing. I'm chilling. And then boom, a fight break out. And how I look over here dancing with a bitch, and then the fight break out, they looking at me like, do your job, least temptation. My biggest temptation is money. I'm not going to say I have a hard time turning it down because it has to be the right situation. And we talked about that in previous episodes. If you don't come to me with that smooth
handshake, bro,
then that temptation is a little bit different because now you're boasting. So my biggest temptation is money because I want to get my money. I want to get my cheddar. I want to get this paper. So that'll be my biggest temptation is money. The least of it being alcohol, drugs, and women. These bitches ain't shit. And I hate to say that song and that reference, but man, I have seen a female. And I said female that time, okay? I was being nice because bitches ain't shit, but.
I was in trade.
Okay. So
RW smooth over there. Let's
let me say this. I have single-handedly watched a female take a dude into the photo booth and do whatever they did in the photo booth. Didn't see it, don't matter, but I knew it was hot and it was steamy in that motherfucker. 5 minutes later.
Really, nigga?
Really. Nigga, really. 5 minutes later, that same female do the same exact thing with another nigga. Go to the photo booth, same hot and steamy.
Seen shit like that.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's actually common.
It's common as shit, but the uncommon part about it, the uncommon part about it, 10 minutes later after that, this bitch boyfriend show up to the fucking venue tripping and tweaking.
Yep.
And I mean, dog, like she was just on two motherfuckers right now, and then you try to come in here flexing, and then she come outside and she beating your ass because you pop up on her unexpected. And then she run back into the club to the other niggas. Like, she's still trying to take them other niggas home when your boyfriend came all the way to the club to get you. And you still ready to leave with them other niggas. So that's why I say it's the least amount of temptation in my mind because females ain't shit, but...
I would say I'll start from the least temptation. I mean, you guys know me.
Mr. Drizzy J can pull any bitch at any time he wants to just by saying, huh?
No, I'm gonna say. I would say the least temptation that I have would be the attention. Don't seek it, don't want it. Mm-hmm. I'm actually very reserved. I don't like we was just talking about a little bit earlier off camera. I don't like being known.
I think that's why bitches want to fuck with you the most, and it's so crazy because you don't give them bitches a day of time.
But that's the thing; they are the number one temptation. Women are the number one temptation for me.
I'm surprised you said that.
You know what I mean? Hey,
and I'll say this because it's the human element. Out of all those things, they're the one thing that's it's another human being in front of you. Mm-hmm. The money, static. Attention, static. Drugs, alcohol, static.
Yeah.
Females is unpredictable.
I would say.
And so you never know how they're going to approach you. You never know in those certain situations. You just never know. Money, it's easy for me to turn down money because to me it's all about respect. Mm-hmm. I will never, like my respect is priceless.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that, have offered me plenty of money.
Same, bro.
And I've turned it down because they didn't have the respect. Either they was too loud, they wanted to be seen, they wanted to make it seem like that this is what they could do to get in, this type of thing. Or the people that's coming up to you with respect or come like how you do it with the smooth handshake.
That smooth handshake.
Coming at you with, that way is different. Man. And so that's the reason why the money part is drugs and alcohol has never been an issue for me. Yeah. I don't even like drugs and alcohol is counterproductive to the type of person I am. Yeah. I work out all the time. I try to eat right. My nutrition's in check. So those two things are counterproductive to what I do, 75% of the time. So, but like I said, if I was to start from start to finish, women number one, and attention is last.
I think it's sorry to cut Warren off, but like for me, it's changed so much because like now, obviously, I'm a business owner and I'm not like just working, you know. So like when I was just working and I didn't own my own business and stuff like that, you know, priorities were different. And then as I developed into being my own, you know, entity, my own thing, and being responsible for 25 other people and whatever else it is, my priorities drastically change. You know, I see from the bigger picture of like, I mean, I talk to you guys about this all the time, man. Like every dollar ain't a good dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like the money,
that's 100%.
It can cause a lot of fucking problems.
And that goes with because what they think that they're paying for.
Exactly. And I think the attention though, I was a big attention guy. Like when I talk about like when I was dating, bro. I mean, I used to date one of the baddest bottle girls that like worked in the downtown scene.
Stop the cap.
I'm just all right, bro. Hey, hey, my resume speaks for itself. I ain't I'm
winning over here,
hey,
man.
you want to take a look at my resume, bro? You'd be extremely impressed.
This dude way
So
I have seen a few.
you have. Don't even lie. All right.
All right.
So I mean, when I was dating this one in particular, she was also very well known, and like, you know, at the back of your mind, you're like, what you well known for? You know what I mean? Like you start going down to like how many dudes you've been with, how many this, how many that. But like it was the attention that like I fucked, like I loved being
that guy.
Mm-hmm. I fucking loved it. I loved walking around town, being able to do wherever. You feel me?
I feel you on that. Warren, what about you, man? Just get your list in.
What you said, Dan, I could see that being like addictive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my brief time working with the company, I mean, you go out or we're working and you just know a ton of people now. You know what I mean? Everybody sees your face, they recognize you shaking your hand.
Networking. Huge.
It's so I can see how that becomes addicting. To me, I agree with what you guys all said about drugs and alcohol. It's like it's never been an issue for me. You know, I never dabbled in that world. So to me, I don't even see it. I don't see it at all. Like it doesn't even bother me. Women's a problem. Women is a problem. You know what I mean?
Wait till we get to talk.
Women to me are a problem because like what you said, Rob. Like, you know, it's unpredictable. You know what I mean? And you got women from all walks of life every night. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you see you see bottle girls are half naked. You got just regular chicks coming in are half naked, and it's like, I mean, it's just being thrown every which way. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But it's for me, and the reason why I say it's women for me is it's not because of my mindset. Mm-hmm. So my mindset is a certain way, right? They're unpredictable because they could come and their approach to you could change your whole game plan.
It can.
And that is where it's hard.
Right.
That's the part where it's like.
And now on Dr. Phil with Rob.
Man, I'm telling you.
Rob got some.
But like you said.
Rob got some stories.
Bruh. But to the attention part, I've just never wanted that. I never, it was never something that I was like, man, I want this, I want that. Like, I just never, I actually rather not be known.
To me, it's
you know who loves being known? This guy right here, bro.
Oh,
he loves it, bro.
You want to know the funny part is it may seem like I love it.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't give a shit about it.
But see,
I don't.
I don't think it's about the attention, right?
It's about bro, that video
right?
you made in your garage with your hands, bro. I don't know, bro. You had the same shades on too.
Sit like this too.
He was like, looking in the camera. Over here got his Keith Sweat look going.
Hey,
bro, you was making love to that camera.
With his
LED. I take back what I said.
That was some passion.
That is big facts.
That was some passion. Bro, you had the whip in the back.
Hey, that's what I was I was highlighting her. That's my baby.
The blue and light LED lights.
Bro, you wasn't highlighting that, bro. You was in the front.
Bro, you got to repost that.
Hey, the camera had me in the fucking mood. The light was shining bright, bro. I didn't know.
You was rubbing your hands together like Birdman.
I was like, hey.
My man got the fresh fade and was ready. Ready.
Like, that was, like, come on, man.
Y'all got to know when.
He said, you know what, man? It's actually not.
Hey, it's, you know, in the aspect of, like, do you want to be known? I've been that way a long time. And I truly believe it's mainly because I went to school at so many different locations at the best time in my life. You know, I met so many different people from so many different high schools, and, you know, anyone who's around me will tell you I cannot go anywhere in public without running into someone that knows me or I know them, and they bump into me and like, bro, what's good? It is a guaranteed fact, and I'll bet $100 every time we go out anywhere in public, because that's how confident I am. It's not the fact that I want to be known. It's the fact that my personality and my character, it attracts people wanting to know me. Because if you really get to know me, you know that I will have your back, and I'll be trying to do anything and everything to put you on. That's me, hands down. And that's only if you know me and I fuck with you, because I know a lot of people don't mean I fuck with them. You know what I mean? But my main purpose is I love having good people around me. Because when you have good people around you, you can be yourself and you don't have to worry about anyone judging you or you acting or doing something different to try and impress somebody. Like, I'm going to be myself, which is an outgoing person, never afraid to talk to nobody, never afraid to do anything. Hold on, let me take that part back. But in general, I'm going to try to help you out. If you know me as someone who's going to help you out and put you on in any aspect. I don't care what it is. If I got it, you got it. You know what I mean? And that's truly for the ones who do ask. And when you do ask, I do give it to you.
Mi casa su casa.
Bro, it is 100% a fact. So the question is, you know, do I want to be known? I don't care for it. Am I known? Yeah. And if you do know me, you know that I'm going to try and hook you up. It's simple as that. So it is very simple.
I fuck with that, though.
Yeah. Warren, so you said basically women is the toughest one. What was the least?
I think the least, like I said, is alcohol and drugs. Mm-hmm, okay. I would say the toughest one to me is money. I say that's the toughest one. I mean, it's just, man, like, I mean, women, I feel like the women are going to be there every night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Money will make you push the forest out the way.
Hey. Was that a subliminal message right there?
Right. You can say that again.
Money will make you push the forest out of the way.
Can you see the forest beyond the trees?
Shit, I can't see him when I stand up. Shit, what you talking about? Oh, shit.
That's another subliminal.
That's why. Yo, we having fun tonight about the night. Like I said, you can find us online, Instagram, about.the.night. Once again, we have special guests in the building. Can I get a little friend? I just did it. Special guest tonight, man. We want to thank you so very much, Dan, for coming in and just showing a little bit of love and coming out here and expressing true stuff that happens on the daily. We just talked about this weekend was crazy. You should have heard last weekend. Last weekend was crazy. And I'm pretty sure next week is going to be crazy. It's every weekend or something.
One more question for Dan, man. What's next for CPG? What you got going? What you got on the horizon?
I got a lot of plans, man. Next year, I'm trying to grow. Really trying to grow like my patrol division, because that's like where more I'm not going to name what contract, but I'm signing a pretty huge contract, hopefully within this next 2 days, with a patrol contract here. I'd also like to get into the VIP world. Speaking of the nightlife, these connections that we've made, I'd like to implement, like picking up a Kings player's wife and take him to the airport and get paid $350 for it. You know what I mean? Or like something that's like we can implement what we still have, make our bread. And because I've already talked to a few owners of establishments, and they're like, yeah, man, like when we have guests, we'd like to be able to like have like a black car pick them up and have a VIP escort, and like that can also be like how dope would it be to do what we're doing now, but you do it for like a celebrity or like somebody that's really important. Like you still get that experience of, hey, I'm taking this individual to a nightclub or a bar, wherever that might be, and I'm going to be their quote unquote bodyguard. I'm going to shadow them for a little bit. I'm going to drive them, but I'm still going to make bread. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot more financially in that world than there is in the world that we're currently pursuing. So ideally, I'd like to kind of delve into that next year at some point. I recently just did a bodyguard job for a rapper out of Modesto area. So that was pretty cool. So just kind of getting my feet wet and trying to move into that world, which is pretty dope. But
so big things in the future.
Yeah, man. I just want to give a big shout out to you guys, man. I really mean that when I say that in the beginning, man. You guys have been there for me throughout a lot. You know what I mean? Like all y'all have stuck with it, and I know. Again, like I said, sometimes it's like, shit, man, I don't want to do this shit no more. But, y'all have really kind of stuck with, you core have stuck with me since the beginning. And I piggyback off of what you kind of were saying. I remember one conversation that you and I had in particular. I think I asked you, like, it was like a year ago or something like that. I was like, man, why do you do this, bro? Like, why do you even, and you were like, bro, like, because I fuck with you. Like, you're my boy. You're my boy. I fuck with you. I want to see you do well, and I want to put on for you, and I want to see people do well. And it's like that plays a factor in, like I don't even like sometimes like I hate to even say this that like y'all work for me. Like I don't like even saying that to y'all because it's like, I just have never been that way. You know what I mean? I've never acted that way with you guys, and at the end of the day, I know it's, we are family. It's something that I take very seriously in the aspect of like, man, like y'all have put on for me since day one, and no homo, love y'all, appreciate y'all, man.
All love,
y'all are my people, man, for real.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Appreciate
that, man.
Appreciate
it.
it.
No, definitely said that. Like, man, it's a lot of times you talked about like, it can wear on you.
Yeah.
But especially in decision making and things like that, it kind of my center always comes back to like I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect where he's going with it. I respect his vision, and I remember you being there like when you were first trying to get it all together, like the beginning, and trying to get it running, and and licensed and all that type of stuff. So I seen your vision and what you was trying to do. Yeah. So I was like, man, I respect that, and it's like, so I think that plays a part in my decision making on how I move. Because to be honest with you, I'll say this: I don't think there's any other place that I've worked for as far as security wise that I would have basically kept on.
Facts.
Or took on the responsibility that was handed to me. To further this idea and of making sure that people understand that the security aspect, yes, even though it gets forgotten, it's extremely important.
Yeah, so. And I think like I know we're closing out, but just like it's extremely important to me to keep that feel in what I believe, because like I want my business to be something different, and I truly believe that we're something different, because again, all these companies are like they're just, it's just like you're another body, you're another shirt, you're just another person.
Have you seen these other companies?
Yeah.
You've seen them.
Yeah, sadly. And again,
but I think that's to his point. He has seen that. Yeah, we've seen that.
Right.
We've been a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think he's built, as far as, or at least the idea of this company is trying to get rid of a lot of those stigmas.
Exactly.
That have been with that, as you stated.
Well, because it's like we all come from like retail, union, working in, working with cars or working with just we all have had a lot of different experience. You're in insurance now, like Tony's still in retail, but we all have these different experiences that, like, I've consulted Rob, like, in my infancy stages, like, I consulted Rob about, like, employer related things. Like, he's helped me with, like, HR related things that, like, he was knowledgeable of, and I know I've asked a lot of you guys, we talked the other night, I don't talk to you guys like I'm a superior, like, I keep such an open mind as a business owner that I can still learn from you, and I can still learn from employees, because I'm not perfect. I mean, I say this all the time. Like, I'm not the perfect security guard or the perfect, like, I'm damn good, and I'm fucking good at my job.
Facts.
And I know what the fuck I'm doing. But do I still have a lot to learn as not only an entrepreneur, but as a security officer, as a leader, as a follower, whatever it might be? Everyone, if you are not expunging things, you will never grow in life with anything.
That's what's up.
If you're content, I've always say this, man, like, I'm never content. I never will be. I have this, like, I feel like, and I hate to sound conceited, I have this, like, never ending, just like, I want to keep going always, no matter what it is. I don't want to, I'm not a settler. Like, I hate settling. I always envision larger, and I always envision bigger. And, like, there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't. I mean, I'm around the clock. I'm getting calls at 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. My life is my business, and it's taken me. I'm proud to say something that I did this year for the first time. My first year in business, I didn't pay myself a dollar, nothing. Worked thousands of hours. I worked endless nights. I covered for people, fucking just so much stuff. Just, like, literally to the point where I'm just like, fuck, man, like, when is this going to be worth it? When is it going to be worth it? Then finally, this year, late in August, I'm proud to say that I started to pay myself a very minimal salary.
Oh, is that where that Dodge Ram came from, 2021 over here balling? That must have been one hell of a paycheck, sir.
Actually, no, I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually have a second job. Y'all know that?
Damn, I didn't know that.
Extra balling. He trying to low-key play it off. Like, no, I didn't use CPG at all. What are you talking about? I just paid myself $20.
Yeah, $20,000. I have a second job. I have a second full-time job. We didn't delve into this, but I have a second full-time job. I am a lead security consultant and director for BART, a project in the Bay Area. So it's called CBTC. It's an upgrade of the entire BART system, and I'm the lead consultant for security for the entire project for the next 10 years.
That's what's up.
And I got that about 10 months ago, and I've, like my boy Lil Wayne says, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Like lasagna.
Yeah, the G is silent in lasagna.
Oh, shit.
Come on, bro. He's coming with
That
this.
line is still fire.
Come on, bro.
Shit.
That shit
The reality's kicking into him now. He said, damn, it's silent.
man, that bar was crazy, bro.
So, yeah, man, I finally...
Wayne always dropping the gym.
I think the craziest is I wrote myself a check for the first time from myself, and that was the most rewarding feeling of my life.
That's what's up.
That all this year and a half, I fucking sat down, wrote my name and a check to myself, and I said, holy shit. Like, that's insane.
That's what's up, Dan.
But yeah.
Hey, what was that?
Your labor.
What was that bus called again?
That Muni.
That what?
That Muni.
I'm riding around with that Muni. Yeah, I'm riding around with that Muni. Once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to About the Night, Night. We're really here trying to show you guys what Sacramento has to offer as far as this nightclub, night scene area. You got all of the guys who are really controlling all of the nightclubs out here in Sacramento. We've taken over this place like a storm. You can't go nowhere without seeing this. I will definitely tell you that right now. I definitely want to thank our crew. Our crew came in, set up. We're about to bust down, get out of here, have a good time, get home, get night. My boy Tony right here. Tony on the ones and twos. We got our boy Rob right here. Mr. Coats, Not Jackets. Let's not forget about my boy Warren. He stay ready, war ready. You know what I mean? And then once again, a special shout out to our special guest tonight, Dan, from Dan Story Clown IG or Capital Protection Group CPG, out here taking over Sacramento overnight. Best damn security group in town. If you need some advice,
shout out CPG, baby.
Better check on them, see what they doing out here protecting our lives. All right, guys. Once again, thank you guys for coming out. You tuned in to About the Night. Stay smooth, y'all.
Yes, sir.